Hello, love. This is Reverend Valerie Love. So I have a question for you today. What if the devil were helping you? What if the devil was helping you? Wouldn't that be a profound shift in how you perceive the devil? Now, I've talked about the devil here before, and we're going to talk about it again because I got another question from YouTube, from one of my YouTube viewers, about could you talk more about the devil so that we can really understand what's going on here with this. So, and you, of course, you've seen the other videos about let's get rid of the devil and Christian Rich, which reveals what really is the devil. So, what if the devil were helping you? And this is how to look at this. First, we have what we know as Lucifer, a bright, shining angel, an angelic being of light who was in heaven with God, one of the brightest shining lights ever created. And the legend tells us that he had a fall from grace, and the fall from grace came because he no longer wanted to give God all the glory. He wanted to be revered, he wanted to be worshiped, he wanted to be the be all end all. He thought he was the bomb.com, and God, well, whatever. I'm the bomb.com. So he, being the first being that we have heard of that had that thought, especially an angel, who really are not created like human beings, they do not have the free will choice that human beings are created with. Human beings are a unique creation of the divine. We have the capacity for choice. I'll do this or I'll do that. And nothing and no one in the universe can in any way interfere with your free will choice. So here we have Lucifer, he's a fallen angel. Well, what if this angel is not, and then we got the story got dumbed down and it got passed on. You know how you tell a story from one person to the next person to the next person, next person, and the person hears it, and then they tell the story, and the person hears it, they tell the story, and by the time the story gets around the circle, it's nothing like the original story. The original story can't even be recognized. That's how far off we have become with our recounting of this story, because everybody has to add their own little thing to it. And every person, whether we know it or not, we are operating with filters on our consciousness. And these filters, we can't even see them. We've had them so long, we can't even see them. That when things come through to our consciousness, they go through the filters. Black woman, live in America, Christian, blah, 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 blah. When things hit my consciousness, they're going through multiple filters: mother filter, the woman filter, this filter, that filter. By the time it comes out on the other side, it's not even the same as when it went in. This is what happens. And so we recount these stories. So here we got the story of Lucifer, and Lucifer was tossed down from heaven. And I've read it over and over and over and over. And any good Christian that goes to church has read this over and over and over and over, that there was, God, and that the Lucifer came down, he was tossed down, and blah blah blah. So anyway, Lucifer is not really here to hurt you. He's not. He's not here to hurt you. What's the real nature of Lucifer? Well, I'm going to give you something, a tool for understanding the nature of the universe, not religion, to understand the nature of the universe. And this tool to understand the nature of the universe, we call it, I call it, I understand it to be, we have it in one word, we call it Kabbalah, also known as Kabbalah. And what does Kabbalah teach us? Kabbalah basically is how the universe works. It's how the whole universe works, summed up into uh, a very, what is the word? A very clear, can be very clear, step by step, through 10 steps, how the universe works. Not so much simple. Not so much simple. It is somewhat, it's deep. At any rate, this is the part I'll tell you about. Let's go to the word Satan in the Bible. People call it Satan. Yeah, we've heard of that. Well, Satan, according to Kabbalah, is a code word for chaos. Now, we could say chaos is what happens before something amazing is created. We could say that. We could also say that this Satan, meaning adversary or opponent, we could say that this being actually helps you. How is that? Well, let's go to a few core understandings that we have to touch and agree on, me and you, about the universe. Number one, there's nothing in the universe out to get you or against you. If you believe in againstness, you're not going to be able to go along with what I'm talking about here because you think something's out to get you. Boo, nothing's out to get you. Nothing is out to get you. It amazes me how many of us believe that something is out to get us. Something's out to get us. Something. A disaster, a boo, an ex boo, a devil, a demon, and we've got all this protective stuff, a burglar, something's got to be out to get us. None of this is true. We have imagined this with our wrong use, our inappropriate use, I'll say, of the imagination. There's nothing at all in the universe out to get you. There isn't. That's the first thing that we've got to be real clear about. And that is also taught in A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles teaches that your defenses are really what's causing you to have the problem because you think that something's going to attack you. And as long as you believe in attack, you will need a defense. As long as you hold the belief of attack, something could attack me, something could get me, something's under the bed, a monster, something that's bad, evil, hurtful is out to get me. As long as you hold on to even the shred of that belief, you're going to need a defense because what happens if you get attacked? You got to be ready. So you make up your defenses, locks on your door, alarm systems, um, multiple locks, and none of it is making you feel safe. None of it is making you feel safe. At best, it's making you feel worse. We used to live in New York City. I was born and raised in New York City. We had the top lock, click clink. We had the next lock, click clink. Then we had, when we went to bed at night, that long pole that you put up is a big long metal pole. Who invented this? And a barricade for the inside of your house, not even outside the door, for the inside where the people live. Hell, if we wanted to get up out the camp, we wouldn't even have been able to do it. And sure enough, the firemen wouldn't be able to get in there at the night if something happened at night. And the firemen used to, how many doors have firemen not been able to get into because the door is steel and then this steel bar is up against the door? I want to come in and help you and save your life. I can't even get in to save your life. So we had that long thing. And even if you had the key, you still couldn't get in when that long bar thing was on the door. Oh, this is just crazy and bizarre. Why we humans are doing all of this? We are doing too much. Stop it. If you're doing all of that, ask yourself, what am I defending against? And guess what? Because we had that belief in our minds about somebody coming in, they came in through the window. This is crazy. Well, of course they're gonna come in. You're thinking somebody might come in and get me. Somebody might come in and get me. Somebody might come in and get me. Well, what do you think is gonna happen? Somebody is gonna come in and get you. That's not rocket science. That is very simple. It's like 2 + 2 = 4. If you know I'm safe, and here's a word I adopted long ago. I adopted this word. It has served me very well. Safe, safe, safe. And the reason I adopted that word safe was because I was a person that believed in attack, that something could attack me. And there was a part of my uh, there was a part of myself, small s, that was always on ready alert. It was very stressful. It's part of me that was always got to be watchful, got to watch out. Something could jump off any minute. And it was, that is not peace. That's not peace. That's ready alert. And ready alert is not the peace of God that is beyond human understanding. It's not that. And you're not even getting anywhere near the peace of God that's beyond all understanding if the belief is in the way. Something's going to get me. Something's going to get me. Something's going to get me. You're not even letting the peace do its job because you're so alerted, alert. Stop. Just stop. You can stop anytime you want. Just right now, let that be the moment. Let this be your holy moment of release. Stop it right now. Take a breath with me. Just let go of attack. Any thoughts that anything could attack you, just let that go. There's nothing in you. There's nothing out to get me. There's nothing against me. Life isn't happening to me. It's happening for me. There's nothing out. God didn't create anything that would destroy me. God created me, and God created everything. Why would God create something that could destroy me? No, doesn't make good sense. And you just move into a peaceful place. I have a question for you. When did your belief that a demon or a devil could get you ever bring you to peace? You're just going to scare yourself into peace? It doesn't work like that. I just keep being scared. I just keep being on alert for the devil, and that's going to bring me to peace. Good luck with that one. That's not happening, is it? No. Stop it. So, that's the first understanding you and I have to come to, that there is nothing in the universe against you. You made it all up, boo. You made it all up. Hate to be the one to bust your little bubble, but actually, I don't. I like busting bubbles because the bubble is not serving you. Who wants to live life in a bubble? The second thing that we'll have to agree on is that God is love. God is love. The third thing we'll have to understand, that we'll have to agree on, and you don't even have to understand it. You don't have to understand the love of God to believe in it or to agree to it. God is love. Okay, I can agree to that. So number one, there's nothing in the universe against me. Number two, God is love. Number three, life is happening for you, not to you. Life is happening for you, not to you. Oh, life is for me. Life is for me. Say it. Life is for me. The universe is for you. The universe, well, as we established in number one, there's no againstness. Number two, God is love. Number three, that must mean everything's for you. Even when it looks like something's not for me, even when it looks like something's here to hurt me, even when it looks like something has hurt me, I've got to understand, I've got to somewhere agree that this is for me, even when I don't understand how, and even if I don't believe it. I was listening to a powerful teacher yesterday, and he said something so amazing. He said, the truth doesn't need you to believe it for it to work. If it needed us to believe it for it to work, it wouldn't be the truth. So you don't even have to believe all the stuff I'm telling you. Matter of fact, don't believe nothing I tell you. Try it for yourself. This is experiential. So you know what? I just listened to Reverend Valerie Love on YouTube or wherever this is, and I'm going to try it. I am going to go 7 days on an attack fast. I'm going to put down all my beliefs intact for 7 days. You can always go back and get them later, boo, if you really want them. I'm going to put down my attack beliefs for 7 days. I'm going to put down my beliefs that there's a devil out to get me, that there's demons out to get me, and I got to have all these protections. I'm going to put all that down for 7 days. I'm going to lay down all my defenses for 7 days. I'm going to, for 7 days, soak myself in God is love. 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 I'm safe. God is love. God is love. God is love. I'm going to immerse myself for 7 days, and the universe is for me. Everything's for me. Oh, yeah, I feel so supported. I feel so taken care of. I feel so lifted. I feel so loved from the inside. Something's for me. There's wind beneath my wings. There's lift up. There's lift off. There's grace. There's good. There's, ooh, everything's for me. This is feeling so good. Try it for 7 days and then put in the comments and tell me what happened in your life. Experiential. This is, you are the master magician. You are the mage in your life. So I'm sharing with you some of the magic that I work with. I don't work with the magic of I got to defend myself against a demon. If a demon came up to me, he would probably self-destruct in the atmosphere that's around me. So, I mean, come on, stop it. Stop. And here's the last agreement. I'm going to add one more agreement to this. Thank you, Spirit. This was something that came to me earlier, inspiration, and I want to share this part with you as well. You are one of the most powerful beings God has ever created, and you are the most powerful being in your life. You command angels and demons. So why are you cowering in fear of the demons? I tell you a story. One day I was going to the cemetery. I love going to cemeteries. I mean, I'm an interesting bird like that. I just love cemeteries. And no matter where I live, no matter where I move to in time, I'm going to find all the cemeteries that are around me. I can be driving down the street or riding down the street, turn my head, there's a cemetery. I mean, it's magnetic, just like that, right? Now, I never um, consciously even considered it. I never even considered that it could be any different. I was never afraid of cemeteries. I go to cemeteries for solace and peace. I love it. And I go in cemeteries and I look at different tombstones, and it's reflective. That's a whole nother conversation. Matter of fact, I have a video about that. So I'm in the cemetery. Actually, I'm going into the cemetery one day, and I looked in the cemetery. In the cemetery, I saw beings that were not of the highest light. And in that moment, I was concerned because I was in a process where I was going to be, I was in my ministerial process, and there was some open portals that I was aware of, and there were some things moving and shifting and shaking all around in me and my energetic field, and I was wondering if I needed to be around that while I'm like this. You know what I mean? So I turned, like instinctively, like to my team, because I have all these angels around me. You have all these angels around you. You have all these guides and guardians around you. You have your enlightened ancestors around you. You have this whole circle around you. So I turned to one of them as if to be like, eh. And there was this little twang. I could feel this little twang of fear that raised up. And that being looked at me like, wait a minute. Do you know who you are? They should be running from you. And then I got myself together. Oh, yeah, that's right. I command demons. I command angels. Right. I'm not supposed to be afraid of beings out there because I command them. They don't come and do to me whatever they feel like doing. No, that's not happening. I command them. And that's the same thing we've got to touch and agree on here. You, boo, you have the power to command angels as the Christ did. Christ walked up to an angel, a demon. You command demons and angels. Christ walked up to the demon, whatever spirit he was talking to, and said, come out. Some of them called him by name before he came, or not even by name. We know who you are. Have you come to torment us before our time? The demons, when you walk up, they ought to know who you are. Not you cowering, got to protect yourself with all this stuff because they might get you. They better be in fear that you don't get them and lock them up somewhere or bind them or cast them wherever you want to cast them. You have to be very clear on who you are. So those are the agreements that we're going to go forward with. How could Lucifer possibly be helping you? The code, the understanding of this, and this is very deep level understanding. Once again, this comes from Kabbalah, and if your mind is ready and open for it, you're watching this. If it's not, this is planting a seed. In the Hebrew, once again, we have Satan. Satan means opponent, adversary. We know that. Satan, the devil means opponent, means adversary. Now, let's go to a game, a really good NBA game. This is the NBA Finals. You got, let's say, the Miami Heat and the Phoenix Suns, and it's when they're both that's real good, and it's this game is so good, it's double overtime, and then at the second, right at the almost at the buzzer, somebody jumps up, it's tied, and somebody boom and gets a 3-pointer, and the crowd goes crazy. And it's back and forth, like you sitting on the edge of your seat. You can't even go and get popcorn or a hot dog or whatever because you are in this game. And don't you love a game like that? Don't you love games like that? I do. We talk about games like that forever. Now, why do you love games like that? Because we as humans love to be appropriately matched. We love to be appropriately matched because when we're matched, it does something to both of us. We go higher. We get better. We get sharper, faster. We get more on our game. Here's an example. If the Miami Heat is, just slamming it, and they know that they're playing this little scrubby team, what do you think the Miami Heat is doing the week before they're playing the scrubs? And the scrubs know they're scrubs. Everybody knows they're scrubs. They're not winning this game. And last time Miami Heat played them, last 7 times Miami Heat played them, they won by like a landslide. It was like they were sleeping halfway. What do you think the Miami Heat is doing the week before they're playing these scrubs? Do you think that they're kind of chilling? Oh, yeah, we got the scrubs on Saturday. Whatever. They might be out to dinner, blah, 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 blah. What happens if on Saturday the Miami Heat is playing the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Suns is coming with it? And the Miami Heat knows that they have to play the Phoenix Suns. And the Phoenix Suns, they selling wolf tickets on ESPN. They talking some stuff like, yeah, when y'all come downtown, come to Phoenix, see what happens. We're gonna send you home. You know how they love trash talking. So the Miami Heat, what do you think they're doing the week before they play the Phoenix Suns? They're in the gym, they're working out, they're running laps, they pointing, shooting. They're visualizing the win. They are on it. They're on their game. Why are they so on their game? Because they know that they're going to be appropriately matched on the weekend. That's what a worthy opponent does for you. A worthy opponent keeps you on your game. If you didn't have a worthy opponent, well, how would you ever get better? How would you ever get faster, wiser, sharper, more on your game, the game of life? You wouldn't. You'd waste away somewhere. Well, who is our worthy opponent? Satan. He's a worthy opponent. And guess what? That worthy opponent, whether you want to go in the game and play and run full court, half court, get your 3 points, whatever you want to do, whether you like it or not, that opponent is always worthy for you in your life, wherever your consciousness is. That opponent is always worthy for you and is always matched for you. And it makes you have to be sharper, faster, not afraid, defense, attack mode. No, on my game mode because I have a worthy opponent. It's like the Miami Heat and the Phoenix Suns. That's how Lucifer is helping you. You've been running from a devil, thinking a devil is going to kill you, take you. And no, I'm not a Satan worshiper. I don't need to be a Satan worshiper. I worship God. I love God. I'm not trying to convince you to be a Satan worshiper. If you listen to what I'm saying and if you understand it, if you're getting the understanding, the wisdom from what I'm saying, you'll understand too that there is nothing in this universe against you. There is nothing that God could have created that would take you out, that a house divided against itself cannot stand, and that there are princes and rulers in light and in darkness, and none of them can overcome you or overpower you unless it is by your own fear. I'll end with this. The lion takes the fierceness of his roar from your fear. The lion takes the fierceness of his roar from your fear. Fear not. Fear not. I love you. God bless you. Be blessed.